Presented by Cursed by the Witch. Warning, use headphones before listening to horror podcast story.
This Halloween season we are presenting secrets of witchcraft and lots of witch stories. Airy horror tale centered around a reclusive forest shrouded in dark magic and legend, known for mysterious disappearances and the whispered rumors of an ancient witch who guards it. This twisted story follows the journey of Elise Gray, a determined journalist with a fascination for supernatural folklore, who ventures into the dark, foreboding woods, hoping to uncover the secrets of the so-called Witch of Hollow Woods for an investigative article. But as she delves deeper into the mysteries, she uncovers a horrifying truth that goes far beyond mere folklore, a curse that has bound the woods to an eternal evil. Part 1. The Legend of Hollow Woods. The story begins with Elise Gray, a fearless journalist from a bustling city who is known for her investigations into the strange and supernatural. Elise learns of an obscure town called Merrifield, where residents live in constant fear of the Hollow Woods. These woods have been the site of numerous disappearances over the centuries, and the townsfolk believe that a powerful witch inhabits the heart of the forest, guarding an ancient curse. According to legend, the witch was once a village healer, banished and condemned by her own people, who feared her dark arts. Before she was cast out, she cursed the woods, binding her soul to its ancient trees, and anyone who ventured too far into her territory was said to become her servant in death. Eager to investigate, Elise is warned by Merrifield's residents to stay away from the woods, with tales of ghostly figures, haunting laughter, and unexplainable sounds that fill the forest after dark. They tell her that the witch, known as Morgana Blackwood, was seen as a healer but was condemned for dabbling in forbidden magic that brought plague and misfortune upon the town centuries ago. Determined to find the truth, Elise ignores their warnings and ventures into the forest, camera and notebook in hand. Part 2. Into the Hollow Woods. Elise enters the Hollow Woods at dusk, its dense, twisted trees casting shadows that seem to shift and watch her every move. The air grows colder the deeper she goes, and strange, unsettling sounds begin to echo around her, whispers that seem to come from nowhere, and footsteps that sound close but leave no trace. She begins documenting her experience, her heart racing with both excitement and a growing sense of dread. As night falls, Elise discovers peculiar markings carved into the trees, symbols of dark rituals, binding spells, and what she realizes are wards meant to keep something inside rather than out. Hours into her journey, Elise stumbles upon an ancient stone circle in a clearing, covered in tangled vines and marked with rotting offerings, small trinkets, animal bones, and even old human remains. As she examines the stones, she feels a powerful, oppressive energy that chills her to the bone. It's then that she hears a faint voice, chanting in a language she doesn't understand, and sees a shadowy figure emerging from the darkness. The figure, cloaked and ghostly, vanishes as soon as Elise tries to capture it with her camera, leaving behind only the faint scent of smoke and decay. Part 3. The Witch's Mark. Frightened but undeterred, Elise decides to camp near the clearing to observe any supernatural occurrences overnight. As midnight approaches, strange phenomena begin to unfold. The trees sway without any wind, strange symbols appear on the ground around her, and shadows form shapes that shouldn't be possible. Suddenly, she sees the figure of Morgana, the rumored witch herself, a tall, ghastly woman with empty, hollow eyes and a pale, twisted face. Morgana's bony fingers are marked with dark runes, and her mouth moves in silent curses as she reaches toward Elise. Elise tries to run, but her body freezes as the witch's icy grip seems to pierce her very soul. Morgana whispers a curse into her ear, a chant that promises suffering and binds Elise to the forest. When Elise breaks free, she finds a mark burned into her wrist, a rune that binds her to the hollow woods. She realizes in horror that she's now cursed, just like the others who disappeared before her. The next morning, Elise tries to leave the forest, but no matter how far she walks, the path twists and leads her back to the clearing. The town of Merrifield is nowhere in sight, and her phone and compass are useless. The hollow woods, it seems, have trapped her within their depths, forcing her to relive nightmarish visions of Morgana's life and death. Each vision reveals more of the witch's past, the pain of her betrayal, the dark rituals she performed to protect herself, and the curse she wove to protect her soul. Part 4, Morgana's Curse and the Bound Souls. Over the next few days, Elise is haunted by apparitions, figures of lost souls, forever bound to the forest by Morgana's curse. These are the spirits of the townsfolk who once turned against the witch, and they now serve as her eternal protectors. The ghosts follow Elise through the forest, whispering warnings and leading her back to the stone circle each time she tries to escape. She learns that the curse is bound to the stones, and that breaking it would require destroying the circle, something no one has ever dared to try. Each night, Morgana appears to Elise, reciting spells and ancient curses, showing her visions of the townsfolk who suffered for betraying her. The witch reveals that the curse can only be broken by a willing sacrifice. Someone must offer their soul to the forest in exchange for freedom. Elise realizes that this is why the residents of Merrifield want her to stay away. The only way to escape is by replacing herself with another soul, binding them to the curse instead. Part 5. The Final Confrontation. Desperate and determined to end the curse, Elise begins gathering ingredients for a ritual she hopes will sever the witch's bond with the woods. As she prepares, Morgana's spirit becomes more aggressive, using the bound souls to haunt and torment Elise, trying to force her to surrender. Elise, however, remains resolute, knowing that the only way to break free is to confront Morgana and end her hold over the hollow woods. On the final night, Elise returns to the stone circle, carrying a mixture of herbs and salts meant to cleanse the ground. She begins the ritual, chanting the incantations she found in Morgana's own writings, risking her life as she calls forth the witch's spirit. Morgana appears, her form more terrifying than ever, surrounded by the tortured souls who have been bound to her for centuries. The witch attacks, unleashing the full force of her power, but Elise fights back, pouring the mixture over the stones and breaking the circle. With a horrific scream, Morgana's spirit is forced back into the earth, and the souls are freed from her curse. The hollow woods grow silent as the ancient magic fades, and for the first time in centuries, the air is still. Part 6. Escape and Aftermath. Exhausted and injured, Elise stumbles back to Merrifield, where she is greeted with shock by the townspeople. They realize that the curse has been lifted, and that they are no longer haunted by the witch's presence. Elise's courage and resilience have freed them, but at a cost. She is forever marked by her encounter with the supernatural, her wrist scarred with Morgana's rune. Though the curse is lifted, Elise cannot forget the horrors she experienced, nor can she rid herself of the lingering whispers of Morgana's final words. The hollow woods are now quiet, but Elise knows that the scars it left on her soul will never truly fade. She leaves Merrifield, forever changed, her spirit touched by the dark magic of the hollow woods and the memory of the witch who cursed it. The Witch of Hollow Woods is a story of terror, courage, and sacrifice, exploring the price of curiosity and the dangers of awakening forces that should have remained dormant. The legend of the witch and her cursed woods serve as a chilling reminder that some mysteries are best left undisturbed.
Thank you for watching. Just like and subscribe.